Hi, it's AniKaspar. It is 7:56 a.m. on 5/11/2017. I was irradiated again last night. I woke up at about 5:30. I had taken a lot of night rest to be able to sleep, period, because throughout the day there was acoustic hitting, and then there was the radiation last night. I was able to shield a bit from it, but the reality is that whatever this is apparently extremely strong because no matter what I do, short of like living in a lead cage of sorts, it breaks through. This is very, very serious directed energy weapon use. I'm recording this as a sworn testimony because it needs to be that. I have been very blessed with offers to move abroad, but however, until my health stabilizes, as I've mentioned before, it's impossible for me to take advantage of these offers. In addition to that, I will have to find fairly immediately some level of support from the country that I will be going to as a political refugee, and because the program that has been perpetrated against me has completely destroyed my entire life, my careers, my health, my finances, my social life, uh, my teeth. I've lost 4 teeth in the past 6 years. And hopefully I don't have cancer everywhere, although I'm pretty sure there's been the beginning of it, and I've been very blessed to be able to take certain supplements and other nutritional elements that have helped a lot to kind of turn this around. However, if I continue to be irradiated every night, this becomes an issue. So I'm reporting that once again I was irradiated. Of course, the symptoms are always the same. I get woken by feeling incredibly hot and a pulsing throughout my body. There's a numbness and or pain throughout my body as well. Numbness usually in my toes and fingers, and pain in my joints, my lungs, my kidneys, and particularly, and my kidneys have not stopped being painful for now 3 weeks. This is since I first went to Sarasota Medical to report that I believed I had radiation poisoning, asked to be tested for radiation and EMF, was refused these things, was not hydrated, and nothing was done except another fraudulent diagnosis, which unfortunately those of us who are watch listed go through all the time, which said that I was dizzy and had acid reflux. Now, no, I had vertigo and I had no acid reflux. So the level of criminality, obviously in our nation, particularly here in Florida, is rather astounding. But again, as we know, as listed individuals, this is what we go through. We go through a program, a human trafficking program of massive, massive criminality, and that includes wild degrees of fraud left, right, and center, particularly medical fraud, because apparently, this program is a genocidal program at the end game, and it is one in which all of the players have to cover their tracks, and so they have infiltrated pretty dramatically through the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, and fusion centers throughout the country, and I'm sure this is abroad as well. Uh, every aspect of American and other life, other nationals' lives. And so, as long as a person's name and social security number comes up, or any other kind of designating ID comes up anywhere, the there is a interception system that comes right into place. And what happens is that the agents that perpetrate these programs are put in place so that the victim of these crimes against humanity can get no assistance, no help, and no true medical attention. Florida Power and Light finally, 3 weeks later, after being an integral part of the poisoning of my person, says they will be removing the smart meter. We'll see. However, I do turn off all circuits at night, and even with all circuits off, cell phone very far away from my person, um, the uh, the directed energy weapon assaults continue. And I don't know what to say except that if I'm not able to leave the United States, I will definitively be murdered in Florida because I'm not taking my life. That will never happen. And it's very clear that if I continue to be irradiated, I will die of cancer. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I must ask my community, that includes my Facebook friends as well as the targeted community, for immediate financial assistance so that I can get the supplements necessary to boost my system and so I can leave the United States immediately. I had my own program down to about 10% of what it could be when I decided to act on behalf of the targeted community. And since acting on behalf of the targeted community, my own program escalated off the map and continues to do so. So I ask you, targeted community particularly, every single one of you has $10 to contribute. I need your $10. I have no family. They have destroyed my life for 20 years. You know exactly what I'm speaking of. And I have nowhere to turn. I will be murdered here in Sarasota, Florida, unless I get out. And I cannot leave until my health stabilizes, because I'll have a heart attack in an airplane, and until I have money to be able to go. And I found the place. I found the place. I found the place. Until I have the money to be able to go to Safe Harbor. And this is Safe Harbor. And I'll be able to continue my work there, I'm pretty sure. My Facebook community, I've been speaking to you for 3 years about what has been happening in my life, and in essence, no one has responded, and I find that shocking, and here's why. I have shared with you so much to help you in your own growth and evolution process, and I shared from my heart because that's just who I am. But I have no family, and I have been under siege for 20 years by programs that are lawless in the extreme, are illegal in most cases, and definitively are crimes against humanity. And I'm asking you now to please help me save my life immediately. If every single Facebook and targeted community friend contributed just $10, not only would I be able to leave the country very quickly, I would also be able to start a real solid business in a safe place with very secure servers, locked down security so that I couldn't possibly go through anything like this again, and I would be able to continue my work. But if that doesn't happen, I will die here in Sarasota from radiation poisoning and the illnesses that are subsequent to it. And that's just reality. And at this juncture, because I've seen so little support for my person, and particularly in the past 3 years, as I've been very aggressively and articulately, reaching out to the world, that quite honestly, source is looking really good these days. So again, I do appreciate everything that everyone who has supported me has done, and I really, really owe you from my deepest, deepest recesses of my heart the greatest gratitude forever, because without you, I would not have survived. And that includes my dear friend Susan. I love you so much, sweetheart. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry it took so long for both of us to understand quite how ridiculous, crazy, and insane this all is, but nothing you and I ever could have envisioned, right, Suze? I know. And I also thank Benjamin, and I thank many of my core members and other friends throughout the world who have stepped up and are trying to do their best, even in a world that has been sacked by a very deliberate program of financial bring down. There's no question that has happened as well. And that's how totalitarian regimes always are hailed in. It's a destruction of the country or, or of the community. And then it's a fait accompli. You have a choice. You're too weak. You're too beat up to fight it. So I beg of you for your support right now. Please go to either Annie Rising or Justice Rising. The links are below. And please support immediately as you can. Or I just stop everything and I just stand down completely and let them kill me. And that's all. Because I'm done. This is this is not my timeline. This is not anything like who I am. And I really don't particularly care for living a timeline that has been perpetrated upon me by people who are truly mentally and spiritually compromised, individuals who apparently suffer from this phenomena, personality disorder called dark triad. And if you research dark triad very carefully, I think you will understand precisely what has happened to our world and why, with the support of each other and our unification, we must act positively to take it back. Or we're all going to end up like me. And that's just the way it is. Blessings this day, and thank you again for all of your help. I may be reached at AniKaspar, ANIKASPAR. The squirrels are they're dancing today, at gmail.com, or at 941-356-8007. If I am not getting back to you immediately, it's because my cell phone is hidden somewhere in my gardens and I have to remember where I put it. It's just blessings. Thank you.